Aloha and welcome to another episode of the Savvy Chick Show on Think Tech Hawaii. I'm your host, Chantel Seville. Nick Toth, the lean body coach, is going to teach us about getting rid of stress and excess weight. So welcome all the way from Sydney, Australia, Bondi Beach, Nick Toth, the lean body coach. Hi, Nick.
Hi, Chantel.
Can you give us more insight about this stress and mind-body nutrition connection?
Modern society, the way we live a very stressful life these days. We have to, especially, women, they have to balance career, running a whole family, a household, maybe even studying or doing a lot of things, and put the pressure on top of that by having to look great as well, because that's what we see, right? So we really stress ourselves out, and our life's stressing us out, and we start to produce excess amount of stress hormones, and predominantly the two hormones that our bodies produce when we're stressed are adrenaline and cortisol. So let's put it this way, if someone frightens you and you have to run away or take action immediately, your body starts to produce adrenaline, right? So whether it's an actual threat, like someone is chasing you with a gun, or you're actually having your morning cup of coffee and open your inbox and you have 200 emails in there, it's the same type of stress that your body is actually experiencing. Now, over time, when your body is kind of tired and wears out of producing adrenaline, we switch on to another mechanism and start to produce more cortisol, which is like a chronic, long-term, low-level stress hormone. And then this hormone actually helps us store weight and body fat.
It's so kind that it helps us store weight.
It's literally your body's protective mechanism, and it wants to keep us alive, because historically, when we look back in time, the only time that we experienced this chronic elevation of stress hormones is when we were without food, or it was wars, and then we had to really preserve all the nutrients. But today, that's not the case. Everyone's, number one thing is, okay, I gotta go on a diet and I gotta eat less. So they go on these ventures of drinking shakes and taking diet pills and drastically lowering their calories. But that's exactly what your body is already thinking. Your body is already thinking, there's not enough food in the world, so I have to preserve all the nutrients that you're eating. Now you go on a diet and you're just reassuring me exactly what I was thinking. So we're doing the opposite of what we should be doing. We should be doing is taking up restorative forms of exercise. So instead of doing high intensity training, which is also elevating cortisol levels, doing low intensity training like yoga or even just weight training that doesn't really get up our heart rate to that level, but still helps us increase lean body mass, which is what helps us increase metabolic rate and burn more calories long term. First of all, take away all the stressors that you're putting on your life. So, you can't take away all the stresses that come from life itself. So it's just a matter of how you're dealing with them. But things like lack of sleep is a massive stress on the body. Also inflammation and processed food, which create inflammation, a huge stress on the body. Inflammation is it's your body's response to something that's not going well. Now, if your body is inflamed, then your body is going to be constantly fighting inflammation and put a hold on other things, such as weight loss or increasing your metabolism. Processed foods and unhealthy fats, too much meat, they actually all cause inflammation or can cause inflammation in the body. So we want to include lots of vegetables, lots of foods that are healthy, and go back to things that come from the earth. It's just a very simple way of thinking, going back to 101, food 101. Things that grow in the ground, fruits, vegetables, whole foods, healthy whole foods, grains.
When it comes to exercise, what do you recommend?
Well, first of all, whatever you enjoy. Because if you don't enjoy it, if you hate it, if you drag it, going to the gym, you're not going to do it. But I always recommend that you do some form of weight or resistance training, because cardio alone doesn't help you build muscle, and weight training does.
And big muscles on.
That's it. Everyone wants to look, once they have that definition, they want to look like they're good at the gym. So you're not gonna get that, you're not gonna achieve that by doing cardio. You need to do weight training, and that will help you slow down the aging process as well and keep you young. So you can't out-train a bad diet. No matter how much you exercise twice a day. If you go home and you're gonna eat bad foods, it's not gonna do you any favors. So it's probably about 80% nutrition and then 20% of what you train. But I work with a lot of women in their 40s and 50s and say, Nick, I'm not really expecting miracles here. If I can just lose a couple kilos, I'll be happy. And they end up losing 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 kilos by the end of 10 weeks. And they think, the metabolism slows down after 40 and 50. And you can actually change that. And these women are tired, they have hormonal imbalance, they're fatigued all the time because they're not getting the right nutrition. So it starts with going backwards, addressing, getting your body what it needs, giving it right nutrition and right fuel, and then you're going to start feeling good and energized and motivated to also go to the gym.
What's your last reminder or piece of advice for those watching the show today that want to reduce that stress and excess weight?
Be kind to yourself and don't be too hard on yourself, because if you are, all that triggers is more guilt. And when you're feeling guilty, you tend to eat worse foods, and what you put in your body is really a reflection on how kind you are to yourself.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Nick. Thanks for your time, because I know how busy you are at the moment. So it's been absolutely great having you on the Savvy Chick Show.